everyone, it's Kim and welcome back to Bookmarks and Breadsticks. Welcome back to Bookmarks and Breadsticks. If you're new to my channel, hello. And if you're returning to my channel, have you hit subscribe yet? Please don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Right now, I'm putting videos out on every Saturday, and hopefully, once I get over this book slump, I can return to bringing you two videos a week specializing in the world of food writing. Today, I'm here with another book haul because for every book I read, I always seem to replace it with one more. So let's get started. The first book I picked up in Toronto, which is Have You Eaten Yet? Stories from Chinese restaurants around the world. I won't go into too much detail on this book. I am really excited to read it. It's a book I had never heard of before, which is always a fun moment. I love going to bookstores and finding a new title. I'm always checking on recent publications, what's been nominated and things like that. So to find something that's new that catches my eye is really exciting, and it's a 2022 release. Next up is a book actually my little sister sent to me, which is Love and Saffron, a novel of friendship, food, and love by Kim Fay. I had heard about this book. I think I had requested to try and get an ARC of it on NetGalley and got rejected. Womp. And my little sister picked it up for me and sent it to me when she was sending me some other things. My little sister is the artist who helps to create the Toasty, and my little sister is the magic behind the stickers that you guys receive in the Read It and Eat boxes. Not only does she create the Toasty sticker, but she helps create a custom sticker for every theme, like the coffee box and the upcoming cheese box and the upcoming sauces box. So shout out to my little sister and her partner, Tim, for being amazing. And thank you for sending me Love and Saffron. I believe this is also a 2022 release. Let me check. It is a 2022 release. Thanks, Megan. Next up, I received an ARC of Azar on Fire. So if you guys don't know, oh my gosh. So I'm really excited to have an advanced reader's copy. This is one of the first ARCs I've ever received that's a physical book. I have gotten finished copies before too, or recent publications, but I'm really excited for Olivia. We are in a Persian Posse Instagram group I've been in for over a year. I have never met the beautiful humans in this Instagram group, but we are all Persian adjacent, Persian-ish, Persian mixed, and we're just all in there just hyping each other up all the time, and I'm so excited I got this advanced reader's copy. I loved her other book, Perfectly Parveen, and I am just so excited to read this. Let me read the back for you because this is a new book. This will be coming out August 2022. 14-year-old Azar Rossi dreams of being a singer-songwriter. There's just one problem. After a bad case of colic as a baby, Azar's vocal cords are shredded, full of nodules that give her a rasp that is the envy of a chain-smoking bullfrog. But since her lyrics are the only way she can express herself, music consumes her. After a drumming session gone wrong in a janitor's closet at school, her principal orders Azar to participate in her local battle of the bands or cover the property damage with money she doesn't have. If Azar is going to pull this off, she's going to need a band. Unfortunately, that will require her to do two things she's not very good at: talk to people and make friends. Same. Enter Ebenezer Lloyd Hollins, fifth of his name, a popular lacrosse star who also happens to have the voice of an angel. Azar overhears him singing in the locker room and becomes transfixed. His voice and her lyrics could equal Battle of the Band's gold. But could she convince him to do it? Could she be brave enough to ask? For a chance to stand on stage with Eben singing her lyrics, Azar decides it's worth a try. In this latest heartfelt and hilarious contemporary young adult novel from Olivia Abthy, one girl sets out to find her voice but unexpectedly discovers the power of friendship and what it means to believe in herself. I'm so excited. Next up, I have another advanced reader's copy, and this is For Butter or Worse by Erin La Rosa. This is Erin's debut in contemporary romance, and by the title, For Butter or Worse, you can correctly assume it is all about food. And it is a take on the Great British Baking Show, but imagine that the hosts are in their 30s and they have to fake date to keep the show going. I'm gonna leave it high level like that. I am so excited. Erin DM'd me directly to ask if I'd be interested in reading, and I have a really fun surprise about this book if you tune into my Booktube birthday video, which will be on Saturday, which I'm just gonna be there live. I really don't expect anyone to be there to chat with me. I'm just gonna be talking about what I've learned on Booktube the past 2 years, what are some fun partnerships that are coming up, and what I'm currently reading. So if you want to get the scoop on a really fun project that involves this book, I really hope you guys tune in. I'm so excited to read this. Next up are the only other 3 books I bought full price. I've been trying, you guys know that I like to buy my books used, but I did buy Getting Something to Eat in Jackson, Race, Class, and Food in the American South by Joseph Owuzi Jr. This is one of the 3 books nominated for the 2022 James Beard Award in Food Writing. I owned the other 2, and I have an upcoming vlog/review video about all 3, so I had to complete the trifecta and get this book. Next up is a book I pre-ordered many moons ago called A Short History of Coffee by Gordon Kerr. I got this from Omnivore Books over out in the West Coast, and it is all about the legends, myths, and geographical locations of coffee. Another book that is new that was on my pre-order list is Catching Hell. You might recognize this book from my anticipated publications. I think that video was for Q2. It did make the list, and I did pre-order it, and it is all about the insider story of seafood from ocean to plate. Okay, fresh camera battery. Let's knock out these last couple of books left. The last group of books on this pile are all used books that I got secondhand through my favorite bookstore, Open Books. First up is Cooking as Fast as We Can by Kat Cora. Kat Cora was the first female Iron Chef, and this is her memoir. I was reintroduced to Kat Cora because Dan and I had been watching Tournament of Chefs, which is like the Food Network's Guy Fieri grid bracket cooking competition. Kat Cora was on season 2, and I was reintroduced to her. This book's been on my TBR, like my watch list, for quite a few years, so I am excited to grab this. Another is My Father's Smokehouse, Stories and Recipes from Fish Camp by Vivian Faith Prescott. I actually don't know a lot about the tradition of smoking fish, so I'm very excited to read this one. Filled with stories of family, food, and culture, and interwoven with personal recipes and photographs taken by the author, My Father's Smokehouse folds the reader into a beautiful island landscape. The smokehouse at Mickey's Fish Camp holds more than fish. It is filled with traditions, memories, and stories of a thriving Southeast Alaskan life, of a family's perseverance, of wisdom of Sami and Tlingit cultures, and the respect for elders and their knowledge of the natural world. Mickey's Fish Camp is named after 3 generations of Prescott fishermen who commercially fished the waters of the Inside Passage, and it is located near one of the oldest Tlingit settlements of Wrangell, Alaska. Here, next to the rainforest and sea, author Vivian Faith Prescott has found her place in the world. She is a student and teacher of the natural environment, harvesting spruce tips, berries, sea lettuce, and goose tongue, and processing salmon, halibut, and hooligan, who combines traditional practices with modern knowledge. Heartwarming and introspective, My Father's Smokehouse tells one woman's story of the traditional knowledge that is learned and passed on from one generation to the next. I'm not quite sure, but the way the back of the book is using capitalization around traditional knowledge and a couple other words makes me think that perhaps Vivian is connected to the indigenous people of Alaska. I am not sure yet. I don't even know if I'm using the right words yet, right terminology, excuse me. So hopefully I will learn more. Next up is A History of Glass, 60 Years of Wine Writing from Gourmet. So Gourmet magazine, this is edited with an introduction from Ruth Reichel. You guys know I'm a huge Ruth Reichel fan. New York Times bestselling author Ruth Reichel has poured through 65 years of wine articles written in Gourmet to select the finest for history in a glass. The results of a rollicking tale of great meals, great walks, and wonderful drinks as Americans discover the sensual and emotional pleasures of wine. I am a sucker for food writing and food anthology, so this is right up my alley. Next up is Anthony Bourdain in the last interview and other conversations with an introduction by Helen Rosner. This is a very short book, but it is one of the last autobiographies for Bourdain, and it's a collection of little conversations and interviews. So I'm very excited to add this to my collection. I think the only thing about Bourdain that I'm missing at this point are actually his cookbooks, and then I will have the complete collection. 2 more. Next up, The Lunch Lessons, Changing the Way We Feed Our Children with Dozens of Kid-Friendly Recipes by Ann Cooper and Lisa M. Holmes. They're the co-authors of In Mother's Kitchen and Bitter Harvest. So I think it is important as we continue to learn and read about in food writing to think about the impact it has in the world. And one of the areas that there's lots of conversation is around what children are eating, especially while they are at school, whether it's free lunch programs or free breakfast programs. So I'm excited to see if the book touches on that or just takes a more organized look of real food and what kids just bring with them to school for lunch. And the final book is 3 Squares, The Invention of the American Meal by Abigail Carroll. This is such a pretty cover. It has kind of like an old school feel to it, and I'm just very, very excited. Published in 2013, we care what we eat, as the saying goes. We are what we eat, as the saying goes, but we are also how we eat and when and where. Our eating habits reveal as much about our society as the food on our plates, and our national identity is written in the eating schedules we follow and the customs we observe at the table, and so on. In 3 Squares, food historian Abigail Carroll upends the popular understanding of our most cherished mealtime traditions, revealing that our eating habits have never been stable. Far from it, in fact. The eating patterns and ideals we've inherited are relatively recent inventions, the products of complex social and economic forces, as well as the efforts of ambitious inventors, scientists, and health gurus. Whether we're pouring ourselves a bowl of cereal, grabbing a quick sandwich, or congregating for a family dinner, our mealtime habits are living artifacts of our collective history and represent only the latest stage of the evolution of the American meal. Our early meals, Carroll explains, were rustic affairs, often eaten hastily without utensils and standing up. Only in the 19th century, when the Industrial Revolution upset work schedules and drastically reduced the amount of time Americans could spend on a midday meal, did the shape of our modern 3 Squares emerge. Quick, simple, and cold breakfasts and lunches and larger sit-down dinners. Since evening was the only part of the day where families could come together, dinner became a ritual, as American as apple pie. But with the rise of processed foods, snacking has become faster, cheaper, and easier than ever, and many fear for the fate of this cherished family meal. So there you go. Those are the most recent books I have hauled. I know it always seems like for every book I grab, there's always another one to take its place, but that is just the nature of who I am as a human. I am super excited to read these books, though, and continue to move through my world of having as many food writing books as possible. Let me know in the comments below which book you're most interested in reading. And if you don't have a book you want to choose, go ahead and leave me the chicken drumstick emoji. If you haven't already, I would love for you to hit like and subscribe, and you can keep up with me for more up-to-date content and see what I'm currently reading over on my Instagram as well. And you can learn more about the Read It and Eat subscription boxes down below. I hope you're well. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.